that song never gets old. Because if you can hear me, if you can see me, that means it's another week of Our Opinion Podcast. Listen, man, I'm Voice 1.
Hey, I'm Voice 2.
And I'm Voice 3.
Hey, Voice 3 right there.
That was
We are Our
fire.
Opinion. We'd like to welcome y'all back, man. You know that one podcast that talk about everything you talk about without your opinion? Yeah, that's us. That's us. Listen,
Whatever.
I'm going to jump into something, right? Before I do that, let me take care of the politics of everything, right? Shout out and thank you to our sponsors, Autumn Fresh Cleaning Services, LLC. Where cleaning has a feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
We thank you. We'd like to also thank our sponsor, I Believe. I Believe is a lifestyle brand
Absolutely.
For anyone,
anyone
that believes in something
greater than themselves. We appreciate y'all, man. We can't do what we do without y'all. So we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Yeah, Voice 1 here, right? I gotta say it. What's a gotta say it? Well, something needs to be said, and I just gotta say it. Hear me out.
Okay.
If you at
What
a
you
club,
got to say today?
yeah, you know, I got you. Don't worry about it. If you at a club and you got a boo boo, and you go boo boo, and they go back out the club,
Bad man.
you a
Oh.
bad.
You're super wild.
You a bad, my boy.
Super wild.
You a wild boy.
So I mean this literally when I say this. That's some shit for your head.
Nigga, night is over.
The
night is over.
You gotta go home. You talking about, oh, that's my jam.
Something just came up.
No. So you a bad man. I'm just want to let you know. You a bad
I mean, like,
man.
once your stomach start hurting, though, that should tell you, like, it's time to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Sometimes you can't make it out.
I'm not tripping with you going to boo boo.
Yeah.
I'm tripping on you returning to do the twerk song. You
Nah.
shouldn't be cha-cha sliding after you done
All
just
that
slid to
hustling.
the
You
bathroom.
ain't got-
No,
Step,
no,
stone.
no, no.
Don't
Yeah.
flow. No.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be
It's time to
doing
go
that.
to the. It's
Yeah,
time to go home, bro.
It's time to go early. The first thing you should
Right
be doing
now.
is tap it out, man.
You
Yeah.
ain't got to
I
worry
just-
about nobody trying to take it.
I hope they ain't trying to. A little surprise for you.
Listen to me, bro. There is
Okay.
no way you should be doing that, man. I watched a nigga come out the bathroom doing that. I'm like, oh, fam, going to the bar.
And you going back.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, my
he
man,
said, I
he
just had to get that out the
wildin'.
way.
Night just started,
Yeah, my
boy.
man, let me get another round. You need to go home. You need to go to a liquor store
Okay.
and take a shower. It's 11 o'clock. You got 2-3 more hours before they close, fam.
Straight to the crib.
Yeah,
He
man.
said he's going back to party. He didn't pay $25 to get in there for nothing.
Now that's a fact. That's a nice argument.
No, it's not. Night is over.
Hey, listen, man. So I'm glad we got the laughter out the way. We kind of got a heavy topic today, right? So I'm not crying. You're crying. It's not counseling. It's therapy. It ain't therapy. It's counseling. Grief counseling, man. The different tiers and level of grief. So when y'all hear the word grief, man, what immediately comes to mind?
A loss of something.
Growing pains.
You immediately consider or attach growing to grieving?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't disagree or agree. That's interesting. So when I hear grief, I immediately think of sorrow, sad. So I guess I'll go into first something that people don't normally talk about.
Okay.
The grief of like a relationship or divorce or the grief of someone still living.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible? Do you guys?
Oh, absolutely. You can grieve friendship loss. You can grieve relationship loss.
Yeah.
You know,
So I want to look up actually what grief.
While you
actually
looking that
means.
up,
The definition of grief?
definitely.
Yeah.
While you looking that up though, I agree. Yeah, you can definitely grieve the loss of a living person, and that person is
Yep.
still around.
I think you can grieve the loss of something tangible.
What do you mean?
Okay,
tangible?
step into that.
So, say for instance, if you had like a family heirloom, a ring, a watch, or
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and you lose it.
It's interesting you say that, right? Here are two definitions of grief.
Okay.
One is deep sorrow, especially that caused by someone's death. The second one is trouble or annoyance. And And the example is we were too tired to cause
Grievances.
any grief. But it's funny I tie that into like losing something of value. You grieve over it. You're annoyed by it. You're upset. I never would. I didn't even consider that. So I think that's a
No, that's true.
yeah. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is there any time frame on grief?
Nope.
Uh,
Now I will say I would put a time frame on your reaction from grief, but to actually grieve, I don't think you can put a time frame on it because you can be fine for years and something comes up and it hits you all over again.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it has grief doesn't have a face and it doesn't have time.
It doesn't. At the same time, I do believe in what are the healthy ways
Right,
of
to grieve.
grief, right?
Yeah,
Because a lot
and
of
that's I think
times
yeah.
people pick up on these different they're grieving, but now they've picked up on all these different vices simply because they're either running away from an emotion, running away from the situation, and now you know what I mean. You have somebody that maybe they didn't drink before. Now they've picked up
Now
this
they picked up
new habit due to the grief, and now it's just unhealthy.
because they've never actually faced it head on.
But see,
Yeah.
what's crazy about that? When I hear that word unhealthy, it triggers something in me
Okay.
because it makes me question what does certain things look like? What does grief look like? What does
Well, grief
breakup
doesn't,
look
like I
like?
said,
What
to
does
me,
it?
to me,
So when I
grief
say
doesn't
that,
have.
when I say that, what I mean really is like, what is it supposed to look like? Is what I mean. Like, how can one person be like, "Well, you're doing too much," and you're doing like, what does it
You
look
can.
like? It don't look like.
I think there's not necessarily of what is the proper way necessarily,
Yeah.
but there is
It's
a
just the
wrong way.
avenues, like the avenues that you take in your grief process.
Yeah.
Do you,
Like,
Is it
you
wrong
know,
or
it's like,
extreme way? And I'm poking the bear here because I agree with
And-
that, but I also understand that. Well, to me, that I also understand that everybody to them
has
that
a
may
different
be the right way.
coping mechanism.
not
Yeah.
like I believe that, and let me be very frank, I haven't lost anyone really like that really I lost people that meant a lot to me,
Yeah.
but I haven't lost anyone like
You
that
haven't
was that
experienced
close.
that.
So I haven't really experienced. So I can be saying this now, and y'all gonna see your boy wild out if the wrong person at the right
you
time.
said
I appreciate that, and I
right.
respect
You know what I
that
mean?
though. I
So
respect that.
of course I'm looking at it from the outside in, where I've more so walked hand in hand with somebody that was grieving over somebody and having this conversation, and you know what I mean, just more so seeing multiple people like, hey, that I see a wrong way of doing the thing.
Yeah, I got you.
And to answer the
Or
question
just
is,
a way that you wouldn't want to go in your
or
grief process.
necessarily for that person, where it's like,
Yeah.
if I know you've been this upstanding person, or you pay all your bills, or you go to work on time, and you are
And then you start
you're
wilding.
punctual, you're doing all the things you're supposed to do to push your life forward, to make your life better, to make your life at least easier, and then this thing happening, and now you're not as punctual.
I got you.
Your life
Something's
is all out of
obviously
whack.
off.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You come, if I know, okay, this person usually likes to dress and they like to do these, and I've seen you multiple times and you got on the sweatsuit. Like, okay, this nigga birthday.
Yeah.
He usually turns
And he
something off.
don't even.
So
Yeah.
again, I can't pinpoint the right way. However, I can definitely say, oh no, that nigga ain't doing it right.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And we use the word healthy and unhealthy.
Yeah.
Save niggas always. Everything always healthy and unhealthy. Not healthy.
Well, no, that's just. I mean, that's
I don't think that's the same
I was
way.
just talking, man. It's a real thing, though. It's a real thing. No, there's a healthy way and an unhealthy way to do any and everything. I think.
True.
Yeah, but I think that people don't. We, even myself, we don't shine enough light on the grief of losing someone that's still living, or something tangible like that. I think that was a phenomenal. I never even thought about that. Like,
Yeah.
dang, you lose something sentimental value, like, you know what I'm saying? All right, y'all
So
remember
wait,
on
you sent the menu, or what did you?
That's that's why I was about to ask. Like, so
What did
what
we
menu
do?
did you send?
Did you send the
Because-
menu?
Very close to you.
Okay. I'm with you.
Very
Now. Okay,
important to
okay.
meening. Hey, y'all
Because I was
remember
just
on
wondering,
y'all
like, I
remember
didn't
on
get
Meet
it.
the Parents when that nigga knocked over the ashes?
Oh Lord.
Jixie cat.
I'm proud of you. I'm very, very, very proud of you. Yeah, I
Okay.
no, I
It went
think
to the
that
big.
was
It went to the big screen. So
fair enough, nigga. Touche. All right, so I'll probably ask this question again because I think in all tiers or all levels of grief, this question is warranted. But what are some ways, whether they're healthy or well, definitely healthy, but what are some healthy ways to cope, to heal, to recover from the grief of someone still living? Be it divorce, be it something tangible, be it
Well, I
because
think
there's a such thing
whether
as like animal grief, like losing
yeah,
animals. That's like
no,
that's a
and I
real
think
thing.
okay.
I think whether or not the person is living is dead, they're deceased, or it's something tangible or materialistic. Um, I think the what helps you move in the right direction is actually accepting what
That's
has happened.
exactly what I was gonna say. I was
Because if
literally
you
gonna say
haven't
that.
accepted it, you're gonna find ways to try to get over it. But
So
once you actually face it head on and finally put it in your heart and not just your mind, like this is what it is now, and we got to keep moving forward from it. Not
so
that, and that doesn't mean that you no longer think about
Get
what
that,
it
just
is, or you no longer hurt from it, but it's easier for you to go on a day-to-day basis and understanding like that's no longer a part of my life.
I got you.
That
that's true.
chapter,
So
that chapter is now closed. It doesn't, I can move forward and I don't have to feel guilty about it because
yeah,
I did my process and I went through the process, you know.
So because I also want to take in consideration that there may be someone dealing with grief at this moment, or may have a different value or different viewpoint. So acceptance doesn't mean necessarily I agree or disagree. It
Yeah.
just means that I'm aware. I'm made aware of, hey, this is
Hmm.
what really is going on.
yeah.
So I just want
Yeah.
to I want to
So
paint that because
right,
Yeah.
somebody
right,
might be
right.
like, I gotta accept that because we attach some words to mean only one thing, and it's like
True.
no.
Right.
So
But it's like,
yeah, I
no, we
just wanted to.
just,
So I want to read a quote,
yeah.
and it kind of just piggybacks off what she just said. Um, and the quote is, "How comfortable a person is feeling their feelings, oftentimes strongly dictates how quickly they move through their grief." And it just simply means is soon the sooner the more comfortable and the more better
Hmm.
you are with sitting in your feelings, dealing with the thing, the quicker you'll be
Reality.
able to get out of that thing
So that's interesting because I don't
or
agree.
move through the
I
situation.
don't agree or disagree, but you guys know my situation, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knows I'm an emotional
Hmm.
guy. I've wallowed in my grief for a minute, and I say wallow because I've allowed myself to say, hey, I am not okay with this shit. Like I disagree. I'm hurt. I feel this way. This is my
Hmm.
interpretation of that, so I'm kind of asking the question in the
Yeah.
same sense. So is that saying that because I'm wallowing in it, and I've come to a point where I'm like, hey, all right, it's time to pick up. I'm expected to get through it faster now, or is that just saying a person that's
No,
able
it's
to?
just in your own timing now, because you have come to a realization that this is now the new reality.
Ah, I got you.
No matter, everything that you tried, this is where you are now. So it's either am I going to keep wallowing, or am I going to pick it up
Ah, I
and
got you.
start living again?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
So
I
I
got you.
I think we also use words. I don't think wallowing in it is the word that you should use when dealing with things like that. Because I believe that's that start of changing the mindset. Whereas like I don't think people are I don't think you should wallow in that feeling. However, I do believe that you should sit in it, identify it, and be okay with it.
But so,
Okay, this is how I feel right now. I'm frustrated, I'm upset, and I'm hurt.
and I'm going to give myself. So when I say wallowing, I mean like, hey, I feel that way. I'm hurt. I'm upset. I'm angry. Nigga, I'm giving myself 7 days to feel just that way alone. I'm going to waddle in and sit here, and I'm not trying to change how I feel.
Yeah.
But then I feel like at some point it's like, hey, okay, nigga, it's the 8th day now.
So
when I say wallowing, that's what I mean.
No,
like,
no.
Comfortably
But
sitting
the same
in
way
it.
you were saying,
because
like,
I don't want to press through my feelings.
Some people take words and then they just attach it to a negative thing where it's like, no. Let's take this. And let's replace it with something else.
Yeah, I got you.
We're gonna sit in our feelings.
Yeah, because that has a time. I respect. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
So even
You're
in that, where
dealing with them,
you said what?
You're actually dealing with them.
You're actually dealing with them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Because when I think of this is more so when I'm thinking of it. When I'm thinking of somebody wallowing in their feelings, or especially wallowing in their sin, of course.
Unchanging.
Yeah, it's like I'm catering to this.
Yeah, you're feeding into
I'm catering
the
to
negative
this
side of.
Yeah, so it's like no. We don't have to cater
That ain't
to
what
it.
we do.
I can identify the same way you're saying, accepting.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, no, I understand that. I get that. Okay. Yeah, I didn't understand at first.
No,
but I understand that wholeheartedly. There. Yeah, I got you. So, all right, let's tap into that. Let's tap into that real quick. I talked about it. Hey, side note, Detroit versus everybody. If you want to just like throw like a little sponsorship or something,
or give my girl a raise.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we.
You
know what I'm saying?
Either one is fine.
I just want to throw that out there. Whatever God put on your
heart. Either one
what
contributes.
I'm saying?
But shout out to my job.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because our opinion versus everybody sound real good. I don't own the rights to none of that.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you
I don't own none of that, but I'm just in my creative bag. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to talk to the right people.
I'm just saying what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But I touched on it, but I think it's important because, and I ain't being silly this time, but I also know it's a real thing. Pet grief is a real thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sit this one up.
I know that pet grief is a real thing, bro.
It's the truth, especially because if you grew up in a family where this particular pet was the family pet and you literally grew up with it, for your pet to just, especially if it just like suddenly dies, like not, ooh, we know you're old, it's coming, just like humans, but for your pet to just suddenly die, like when I was still in
it's never own anything outside of a goldfish. She put the camera on me.
Make sure we see your face. But no, I had a dog.
And I'm fighting it back. If insensitive was a person.
Insensitivity was a person. Dennis. It's Dennis.
What you say?
Show hands, Shay.
I've had a pet stolen. I've had a pet.
Wait a minute. What kind of pet was it?
It was a dog. They're all dogs.
Oh yeah, niggas be stealing dogs.
But we had
I don't know why I thought it was a bird. Like who stealing? Who broke your house and stole a bird? It's TVs, VCRs, all types of stuff. I'm saying this. Yeah.
No, but when one of my dogs really died, like I cried really hard because he had a heat stroke.
He had a wait. He had a heat stroke. Mm-hmm. How do you know this?
We had to rush him to the vet. What do you mean? He started throwing up everywhere.
So he came and said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
You are.
He came back.
He said, "Like, ooh, I'm
we." Oh shit! You know when they come, they come out and they take their doctor's hat off and it's like.
We actually were in the back.
We tried all we can.
Y'all are horrible.
We tried all we can.
But the whole story was
he was
hot. He was like super, super hot. It was we had a Rottweiler. So their fur, they're already black.
I don't think you should be saying this. That's
No, I'm telling you. So listen.
Endangered.
No, seriously though. Was he outside too
No.
long or something? Or?
Yeah, so he wasn't outside 24/7, but he just so happened to be outside this particular day, and it wasn't even a really, really hot day.
Hey, this
But
story is alleged, by the way. This is alleged.
No, it's not alleged.
I'm trying to say you. It sounds like you.
I don't care.
It sound like you got off work and didn't go right to the house when you got off.
No,
yeah.
Summertime, so we was already out of school.
Okay.
And so my brother, he just was acting weird. So my brother was like, all right. So he took him in the house and tried to put him in some water, which shocked his system, which you're not supposed to do to humans either.
So he had a heart attack.
Someone is suffering from a heat stroke, not a heart attack.
You said shock.
Your body can literally shock, right? But your entire system will go into shock. Even as a human being, if someone puts you in cold water and you're suffering from a heat stroke.
Damn.
Okay.
So so when we got to the vet, he was like really declining, and so we was there when he died.
So how many dogs have y'all lost?
You lost 2 dogs?
So one was stolen, so we don't know when she actually died.
I remember you said you had that funeral for
one. What you say, sir?
Shay, what did you say? How many pets y'all cemetery?
We don't have a pet cemetery.
Oh no! How many pets?
No, I respect it.
Actually had to bury her dog.
How many pets have been
sure.
Lost in y'all care?
Your care.
Whose care?
Your family.
Only one actually passed like that.
I thought you said you had 3.
I'm saying we had 3 dogs total.
Oh, because one of them got stole. One of them got stole. The other one passed from heat stroke, and then the other one ran away.
No,
he
just died of
I heard what happened to the last security guard.
Let me get the hell up out of here.
No, but I think I wanted to talk about pet grief though, because my stepfather, he lost when Lady died. Like the nigga vowed never to get another dog again.
Wow.
This nigga is like
dramatic.
But like being a pet lover, bro, it's like a real. I respect it because I'm not that I don't love pets. I've never owned a pet of my own to actually. I grew up. My parents had dogs. I'm not a dog lover, but I like my parents' dog. I like cats, but I ain't never had one that I like when the bar picked out. Like
that's wild.
So I don't know, but I understand and respect. Like there is a real tie to a pet, bro.
Because some
like
people,
I know grandparents
that
don't have
children.
grandkids, but like this my grand dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like this they grandkid. Like
these guys that
my stepdad he called my dog. I mean his dog. My dog. He called his dog my little brother. He like, let your brother out. I'll be like, oh, the dog. Okay, shit, I don't know. So
yeah,
it's a real thing.
Yeah. I believe it. I accept it.
See,
I accept it.
So the more
something else he's never experienced, so he doesn't have
something
else.
I don't.
Fight.
Yeah, and I'm not. Again, maybe I will. Well, my kids are getting older. Maybe when my kids get older, we get a pet, and it's like
you're gonna love that dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be a dog.
Damn
Kayla,
dog
Kayla don't like dogs.
Right here. And he was like, I'm like, this is voice 1. And that's
his voice 2.
Voice tile.
It's 2A,
right? So moving on to the most the well known factor of grief.
Okay,
is post life, losing someone that passes away. Right.
Yeah.
I've recently I buried my grandfather, my second grandfather, because on both sides now I have my mom's side and my dad's side. Right. Man, grief is a transitioning or a level feeling. You go into, for me at least, you go into shock, you go into disbelief, you go into mourning, sadness.
So there's actually a clip I want to show, and these are the stages of grief. So was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
So you got denial, anger,
grief to look like.
Yeah.
And I have this because I had to send this to Kayla when she was dealing with her father.
Yeah.
And she was, you know what I mean, kind of explaining like, well, I dealt with the denial or I accepted it. And it's like, no, babe, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like you think it's going to go like, oh,
But it's
okay.
all
And then
over.
now it's
Just-
like, no, I might hit denial twice.
Yeah.
And
Be there for 2 years.
And I might have to go back to acceptance.
Yep.
And so it's
and then
not
the anger might
necessarily-
come back because now
And
I done thought
I'm
about it
learning
again. Now
now,
I'm mad. Yeah.
it's so many small things that trigger you.
Triggers.
And I remember when my father-in-law first passed away, we're going to church and he passed away on a Sunday. So already like Sundays was like a thing. Like, I don't know where this woman's mind is going to be at. I don't know. Like, but
Hell of an excuse to not go to church again.
No, and it was like that's what it was. Like, I don't want to go to church, and that's what her mind was on. Like, I can't do Sundays.
Yeah, that's tough.
And she will more so like willed herself to go. This particular Sunday, we're going, and she had already like, I don't want to say have an episode, but she already had a moment. And at the house, cleaned herself up and all this good stuff. We on the road, and my father-in-law drove this Ford Transit, blue. When I say we've seen countless Ford Transits, we've never seen the blue one. Never seen the blue one. And he would come to our church on Sundays every night, like sporadically. And it took, I'm driving, I'm praying, Lord, please let this truck turn so she don't see it. And it didn't, and tears.
It just set her back.
It was like, and because when I saw it, I felt it like, he come like, it was like that's him.
Yeah.
And it was quickly like, nah. And then I'm like,
you
okay,
know that.
please. I was about to turn, but I didn't want to just like move drastically.
Let her relish in that moment too.
Yeah.
So here's the thing though, right? And it's just talking about it made me think about something. I know people that could be in situations like that, and when they're mourning or grieving, rather, they try to be this strong superhero, and it's like, we're believers.
Yeah.
God didn't intend for us. If he made us to be superheroes, it wouldn't be a need for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Saying that to say this, that if you're grieving, you owe no one, well, I got to be strong for my mama. No, you and mama need to be crying at the funeral. Y'all both need to be going through those. You owe no one this responsibility or this duty to be this super, like, unemotional, not like who. No, man. So you saying that made me think about like that could have went the other way. She could have been put on this front. So I'm glad that she was able.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you had the intelligence to say, well, I won't turn off. I'm gonna let her.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is, and that's one thing that I've always, you can't dictate your safe space, somebody else's safe space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And okay, you her husband, whatever you supposed like I can also not be her safe space.
And I cannot know how to be that safe space for that moment.
And that's what I think that's what I struggled with as well. Like it was really trying to navigate.
Especially because you have nothing relatable.
I don't have nothing relatable.
Yeah.
And
I've never experienced that feeling. So I don't know what to how to
I'm also like
in a sense.
goal minded towards like, oh, okay, it's a problem. Oh, well, let's try to learn to fix it.
But when like, it's in this certain settings, you can't just
like there's no fix. The only way, nigga, is bring them back.
So that's a great point.
If not, shut up. Like and trying to find a way to shut up and just like
because my father. Let me cut you off, but it's a great point. My father came to my grandfather's funeral, and he rode with me on the way to the crib. Though dropping him off, he said, "I was surprised you came, Dad. I figured that would trigger you because you just lost your wife, nigga." And I ain't going nobody else.
Yeah.
You know? He said the only thing that triggered me was seeing my kids cry, and I knew it was nothing I could do about it. Dog. He was like, I know that I know why they're crying.
And that's always,
but it's literally nothing. I was like, I respect that, man. I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, so when you said it, it's like, it's literally tough. He like, I damn near cry. He like, and I ain't want to hug you because then we both gonna be crying. I'm like, that hurt me the most. To know what my kids are crying about, and I can literally
That
Do
was
nothing
like the
about it.
biggest.
I
That was
can't
like
take it
the
away.
biggest
Can't take it
struggle.
away at all.
That was like the
Yeah,
biggest
that's a
hurdle for
hurt.
me.
Grief
Was
is a
like as a
hurt that
husband.
nobody can ever take away.
Yeah.
No,
No
that's right.
words, no the amount of time spent. Like in that moment, it might make things okay, but then you have to be alone again.
Yeah,
And shit. So for
And
me,
it's in those times when you're alone,
I try to
it
ask the
tends to.
person, like our cousin lost his wife, bro, and my response to him was, "What do you need me to be?" And his response was, "I want to go to the gun range, bro. I need to shoot something." So, and to me, that was me not saying, well, whatever you need. It was saying, nigga, tell me what you need. You might not need me to be the nigga you cry to.
yeah.
I ain't your safe space.
Exactly.
You might need me, man. Take me to the strip club, bro, or take me to the gun range. Like,
Yeah.
so I think it's important to find out what a person needs you to be.
What
in
role
that
you gotta
moment.
be.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
then
word.
sometimes you don't even have an answer.
At all, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
and then deep down it's like, well, what I really need you to be is a person who defies all of what the Lord has put on this earth and bring that person back.
Man, shout
Yeah.
out to Lil
And I
Russell.
know you can't do that.
Shout
So
out to Lil Russell, bro. That nigga say sex is how he grieves. He says, I've been that ass over and let me grieve.
Nigga wild.
This nigga is a wild
Nigga
boy,
wild.
bro.
I mess with dogs.
What do you need me to be? A laid,
bent over.
a laid down, a willing vessel. I need
a laid prostrate.
yeah, you know what I'm
vessel.
saying?
I think also what I think there's a hidden level of grief, and I believe that's unexpected grief. Right, where you have grief of you losing a loved one, or you even losing somebody that is still here that you still have to sometimes even interact with. But I think it's that unexpected grief where I've dealt with it
Like a coworker, nigga. You be like, see you tomorrow.
yeah, where it's like you don't think this thing will affect you the way it would. You know what I mean? Where one of my close friends got a divorce, and it affected me.
Yeah.
Like, really affected me.
Because
Like,
now, yeah.
like I'm being intimate with my wife, and it's like,
Like,
nigga,
care too much.
no, like I literally walked out.
My boy like this. Get up, man. Get up, man. Say, what's going on?
Yeah,
Like, what is up? Like,
I know I ain't doing that good.
Okay. Like, boy, I know you ain't
my
that
nigga,
emotional.
like,
Like it really affected me, bro. Like I couldn't believe it. So it was like I really had to start taking a step back from like, okay,
The simple things that we take
like
for
yeah,
granted.
and it's like it's so many other things. Like even again, like my father-in-law,
yeah.
unexpected. Like, and it's just different things that happen that is not necessarily tied to you, but it affects you in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like
That's actually a great point, bro.
it's really crazy. That was
a
actually
great-
Caleb's point.
That's a
Yeah.
great
That
point.
she wanted to talk
But you and
Shout out to our silent
without
sponsor.
Exactly right.
you know,
voice
but
too.
without even going into full detail, but you have a moment of grief when something may be taken away that you never expect to be taken away.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
And so that's a process all in itself.
Yeah.
for real.
I think for any kind of grief, the most important thing to have are people.
1,000%.
I think because I think it's and to understand. Here's where titles don't necessarily hold the biggest weight, right?
Mhm.
Just because you my cousin and you my mama or you my brother or my daddy, it don't mean that I need you for this moment. Here's where you understand the roles of your friendships and your circle. Because like my cousin, I was just a nigga, and it's funny because he had just texted me too. I was just a guy that I took him saying go to the gun range. That put him in the element to take his mind off of everything and do something totally different.
Yeah.
We ain't got to talk about what I'm going through.
No,
You
none
know
of that.
why
We
we
just
here.
here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, you
here.
know. So
Okay.
we know why we're here. But there was someone that he cried to before I reached out to him. There was someone that held him, and I
Right.
would imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, so understand. I think it's important. Damn, I just had a great thought. Right? You know how we have a will for our life when we die. It's
Okay.
good to have a will for your life while you're living, bro.
Okay.
I gotta have, and I'm not talking in a literal sense, but to have a will to say, I know who I need for what when I need them for it. That makes sense. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's we need to have a will for our life while we living.
No, I agree.
When something
I
go
actually
on,
like
bro,
that.
call this nigga first, bro. If I'm going to jail, nigga, call because I
Yeah,
know
I mean
when
that's
I
what you know. Them your emergency contacts, and not
yeah,
just emergency contacts, but
it,
they're
you
your
know what I'm saying that,
emergency contacts.
because they your mama. That no, like I tell people, don't call my mama first because she's gonna be in a panic. Call her third. I know who to call first because they
Yeah.
gonna get to me.
Call Kayla and my mama on 3-way.
Okay,
But
please
who you want
don't
to dial
call them
first?
at the same time.
Call them on 3-way.
Who you want them to
Hey,
dial
I got
first,
news.
though?
Just wait. I got to call his mama too. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I
listen,
think that's
you gotta
important,
put,
man.
You gotta put them in a group chat already. So you hit the button. Everybody phone rings.
Everybody
together.
call me now. 911. You
Y'all know
I'm
what
saying?
it is.
Yeah, but I think that's a good point to have a will for your life currently while you living, and it's really just appointing people for different elements because grief, man, I believe that grief never goes away. There's nothing
No.
that you never get over it. You have
Mm-mm.
it's. I think it doesn't even lessens. Like it doesn't like
I think
lessen
it
in
does. I
values.
think it does.
It
think
does.
Or does it get
Yeah.
easier? But I
So
can say that it doesn't get
the
easier.
Yeah.
severity of your emotions behind it, the more that you accept it,
I got
you know, it doesn't necessarily trigger you as often
It doesn't
or
affect
as
you the way it
hard and
did.
as deep.
Yeah.
So, once in the beginning, it was just like everything. You just walk outside, like just bawling,
Yeah. My
But
mama
whereas,
my mama like blue skies.
right,
Yeah, for
but
real.
then as to where the more time you sit with it and then start to deal with it, now you look at it in a positive light. Like, for instance, um, using MJ, the sunflowers.
Mhm.
You could either look at that
Yeah,
and grieve her,
yeah,
or look at them and it brings some comfort to you.
yeah, yeah.
Like, especially if you randomly see it. Like, how often do you see people have planted sunflowers?
Not at all.
And then, so it's like when you see them, now it's like, you let me know you good.
Yeah, I know something
Versus,
going on. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, right? Because I think it's also important to This is just because I want to also talk to the people or the person that's like, yeah, I heard all of that shit. That sounds good, but when you're going through it, nothing looks like that. And this is something that me and Brandon was talking about prior to the show. Man, it's so hard to believe in God when He doesn't look like what His Word says He looks like when you're going through the moment. What does that mean? Voice one. There will be times where it doesn't look like He's going to heal you. He's going to restore. That He's able to get you over this hump of you grieving and going through something and heartache. But you got to just press through. I know one thing that works for me, and that is working because I'm going through a state of grief and depression. Open your mouth. You have to.
Please.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
Yep. Because a
Moving on,
person can
ladies.
only do.
Talk to God.
Okay.
Yeah. Not even just because we're gonna talk to God, right?
Yeah.
You gotta talk to God. Talk to people. You
Yeah.
Pour
have
your
to.
heart out.
Yeah, you have to. What ends up happening, and P man, I want to tell you something that I didn't tell you. That I appreciate you because you regurgitate something that I said to you at a time that I needed to hear it. I talked to P on the phone. We had a nice long conversation, and she was like, "Something that you always tell me, get it off your pen. Get back to writing.
Yeah.
Get that shit off your
And
mind.
what did I-
Get it off your pen. Because I always say that. Get it off your pen, which just means write it down." And I was like,
Which is that
That's a
sounds
good
like
point.
confirmation because
Give
I
me a
believe
meal
I
meat.
told you the same thing.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. But again, speaking to
But I'm
the
just
person
saying
or the people,
in
it
two
doesn't
different
look like that
settings,
when you in the
the
moment,
same,
man.
you know.
I think I
You
want
don't
to.
want to see it.
I also want to add to what you're saying too.
I hope I know I'm in one bracket, but I'm kind of everywhere with the
No, no,
total
no.
thoughts. I
I
hope that
don't think
makes
it's
sense.
everywhere. I think it's right where it's supposed to be at. Pause.
That's like grief.
Uh-huh.
Grief is
We're
everywhere.
moving
I
all
said
ditties.
it. I caught that one.
No diddy.
I
No
caught
diddy
that one.
here.
Ah.
No, take less. Take less.
Put it back. Put it back.
Unhand
Keep it
me
to
now.
yourself.
But I appreciate
Your
you
hand
for
on
that,
my
though, P.
pocket.
What I want to say too is, I believe a lot of times we're expecting God to come one way, but He comes in a whole different form.
Multiple, yep.
Right? So we're expecting God to, oh man, you're gonna save this situation, or we're expecting God to sever ties, or whatever the case may be. But it's like, no, no, no. He can. You may be looking for a healing,
Yep.
but God is more so wanting a resurrection.
Yep.
So that means something has to die
Mm-hmm.
for it to come back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times we are.
Not physically die. Something has to
Yeah.
go away to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to
For
help
something
them.
else to live.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanna
Right?
help.
So, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, maybe this relationship has died. But
ended or
yeah,
Yep.
you know what I mean? And we're expecting it to flourish, and we're expecting it to do whatever, but God has something different in plan in
Yeah.
store.
And
But
place for it.
But here's
Mhm.
how dope God is too. Shout out to our producer. Maybe he had a nice conversation that he kind of brought to my attention again too. And I kind of said it first though, but he kind of reassured. Man, God ways aren't our ways, right?
100%.
But on the flip side,
At all.
there is a true thing that God would separate. Talking in regards to the grief of losing a relationship or a person, God can and will and has separated people to go be individuals and get better and to grow and to learn and to heal and restore them together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? However, he's also, because God gives you free will, he allows you to choose what you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have not, I urge you to go watch a movie that it appears to be just a movie, but it is very parallel in the concept of God and how we live down here on earth. Go watch Bruce Almighty, man.
I was going to say that.
Morgan Freeman was God, but he gave Jim Carrey his powers for a day. And the one rule and limitation that Morgan Freeman gave Jim Carrey was you cannot mess with free will. All that to say, man, God gives us free will to choose and pick who we want, and He'll bless certain things by how we line it up and filter it through His will and His word. All that to say, there are times that He will allow you to choose a person, and things don't go like you guys plan, and you guys separate and never come back together.
Come back.
It is important. It is imperative. Shout out to Miss Gallon.
Stars.
It behooves you to seek God and try to understand. Damn, I'm talking to myself. To understand what's in it for you.
Yeah.
What was the purpose for you?
Yeah.
To go through this and be in this moment, because it may come back, it may not, and whether it does or it does not, you have to be okay either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Either way.
We had a conversation off air. I'm not going to get in depth, but in the gist of it was basically there some women kind of can live freely, other trying to say words without saying words.
I understand.
Women more so after breakups can move freer
Yep.
than men can.
The expectation is
You think so?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, and I have studies to prove it. And it's so funny that you said it. Researcher says that women tend to be more negatively affected by breakups, both physically and emotionally, but they also tend to recover more fuller.
Which
Right.
I agree with that.
listen, check me out. Men, on the other hand, very rarely fully recover. Very rarely.
So why do y'all think that is?
Men take
Taking the
breakups.
expectations of
Men
what
take breakups
society
more
says.
serious than
I got
women.
an answer for that when he done. I got an answer
I
for that
believe
question.
men take breakups more serious than women.
Why do you feel that men
Because
take
in the
it more
man's mind,
serious?
in the woman's mind, I can always be. A woman feels I can always be saved, or there's always somebody else.
Hmm?
In the
No, no,
yeah,
no.
in a
That's not
man's
always
mind,
the.
this is the
That's not
person
always
that
the
I'm
case.
choosing to lay down everything for. I will lay my life down for this person. And when it
And
does not work,
there's
it changes everything.
So my
so you
answer.
so but do you think you don't think women experience that?
No, I think so. My answer is a
I
little.
do, but I believe the scale is differently
Yeah,
though.
it's tilted. Yeah, it's
I believe the
definitely.
scale is not the same.
So when I think about it,
Why?
right, I think of it in the sense of expectation. Now my answer is a little biased because I'm actually going through a transition, right? But I also feel this way on a regular. I think the expectations are different for men and women. I think that the expectation of a woman is I'm gonna be all right. I can always bounce back. Everything is replaceable. You know what I mean? There's no expectation for her ever to grow and to change and to self-evaluate. It's
Who's
always well.
who
Because there's
doesn't
always
expect
This is
a woman
there's
to grow
always
or
this is the
somewhere a
change?
woman
narrative.
can land
Yeah,
and be safe.
this is the narrative that I get from the world. Right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, and when I say world, I mean experiences. For a man, though, a man is always expected to always have to catch up. We have to come. We have to court you, date you, pay for everything, provide and protect. We gotta always get a better job. If we work in this job and then making that much, we gotta go get this. It's always an expectation to do more and to do better. For the woman, it's always, well, I'm doing this. He need to be doing this part. So for a man, we end up. Let me just say for me. I ain't gonna speak for every nigga, right? So for me, what ends up happening is, to your point, D, I end up carrying the weight of saying, um, I gotta do everything and be everything. So then when the breakup goes, it's like I just invested all of this change into this,
Yeah, yeah.
and now you're expecting me to make an adjustment of an adjustment that I just made. I just
So
adjusted
do
my
you,
life to fit
so
this
y'all
one
don't
person.
so don't you think that that happens with women as well?
I
They
do
But
actually
but
do
it's in a
alter
believe.
shorter
I'm
their
not
spurt.
saying that it doesn't happen with
Man, y'all go
women.
dye y'all hair, hit Vegas or Miami, get your body
And
right,
then there's
and
also
go grab
another
another nigga, and
there's
it's
also another dude that can
No, but
come.
that
and
doesn't
whatever
necessarily just because you go out and party, that's what it's called, coping mechanisms.
yeah, you get
That
another
doesn't
nigga to
mean
do
you
what he
No, no,
actually
wasn't
no.
doing.
What
no.
I'm what I'm
No,
what I'm
not
more so
necessarily.
saying
Not everybody,
what I'm
not
more so
every
saying
woman
is
follows that. To get over one, you have to get under another.
I agree
true.
with that too,
True.
though.
I'm not
I don't
disagreeing
think
with
Yeah,
for
you at all.
either a man or woman that is how no, I don't think that's how you should navigate. That's
I
one
agree with that too.
wrong
Yeah,
way of
that's not. That's also what. That's. I'm not saying that either, though. And I agree with you
Yeah,
100%, 1,000%. I don't think that's what you should do.
but
I'm
for a
I'm more
woman,
so
I'm a
on the
woman.
side of, as much as a man should be held accountable
the
for
woman should too.
healing and stuff like that,
Hmm.
a woman should too.
Woman should too.
And the
Absolutely.
woman, in my opinion,
But
the
who is
woman
now
more so has
holding
more leeway after a breakup
Yep.
than the guy
leeway for
does.
what though?
Huh?
Because I've said this before on the
Leeway
show,
for
right?
what? Because a man will sleep with a woman and not even know her name for just because he want to get off. He
That's a
could go
fact.
sleep with 1,000 women and have no type of effect at whatsoever.
I'm not
A woman
disagreeing with
can't
you.
do
Yeah.
that.
I
So what
Because
I'm
she
saying
should.
is
because
though,
because when she do it, it's definitely emotionally attachment to it. It's an
but that's what
emotional
I'm
attachment
saying.
to it.
And so for a woman to constantly always be let down by a man, it starts to play on insecurities and it starts to make a woman feel like I'm never good enough because I open myself up only to end up hurt all over again.
Yeah.
And so women carry that. Now, they may be able to get through the process quicker, as the study says. Yeah, women go through a breakup and they're able to pick themselves back up, because if I don't pick myself up, who's going to do it?
Yeah, but
Nobody.
so I agree with that
No,
too.
I don't believe
men
it's
can
nobody
take
though.
on, yes, men can take on that
Because
same
women have
trait.
so many different avenues they can run to replace a male as well.
Because in my
Men
opinion,
do
a woman,
too.
but my opinion, right? A woman, when
Not
when,
necessarily.
when
If I don't get a job,
It just depends on
I don't
what
got a
you.
job.
yeah,
And with a woman, you have unemployment just like a woman can get unemployment if she don't have a job. If you want to go out and sell your body the same way a woman could do.
a woman can get on assistance quicker and longer than a man. If as a man I have to go back to work faster, and I also don't have as much resources for the same period of time.
So you're speaking more so not just women though. You're speaking more so of mothers, because there's single women out here who still can't get that same thing, but a man can get it, and a gay man can get it before a single woman can get it, and it's the same. No, I'm just saying, but it's still there. Guess what? On their birth certificate, it still says male. When they turn their papers in, it still says male.
No. So
it does.
So I won't. So me
but
personally,
that plays.
I won't drive into that parking spot, because that's a whole nother avenue, right? I'm speaking me personally. I'm speaking from the. Let's use the word double standard. I think that life is sometimes, most of the time, a double standard. It's a double standard for men and women. Right?
I do believe
and
that.
I want to use your.
And I can also be very.
That's
I
because society made it that way.
Plight as
yeah,
well,
for sure. But I want to use your analogy, because I think it makes a great point. The whole job analogy, right? I look at it like this. This is how I can best describe it. A woman can. I'm using an analogy here, people, so keep up. A woman can be working a job and be like, I don't like it here. I'm going to find another job. A nigga? Oh no. He got to be working a job. If he don't like, he got to still get up, come, work, do all the stuff they mistreat when they cut his hours. Quit. And before I quit, I need another job, and I need a start date for that job.
That's I've already had to been working for that job.
That's not true.
And I better have experience in that job. So I think that's how I look at the
But y'all also have to think about from just history itself. At one point, women weren't even allowed to work at all.
But I'm using that as an analogy.
Well,
in the
saying,
sense
that's the whole thing. What women saying that they don't want to work.
But see, listen, no, I don't.
No, but I'm not talking working in a literal sense.
Wait. So you're saying, given the opportunity, you wouldn't work if you didn't have to.
Dude, listen. No, I would have to work. I could not just not do anything.
Okay.
No, but I don't
think every woman shares that.
No, I don't know.
I don't believe you're the majority of thought either, though.
I know, but I'm also a woman, though, and there's a lot of women that says.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, I'm speaking to more so the majority of women and people. We can't really necessarily focus on the minority, because it really don't move.
But majority of that women that you talk to, yes, they've been brought up to always, for one, have your own money. However you gonna get it, you always have your own money.
That's because I don't think women are being raised to be a wife either, though.
No, most are, but they're not raised. So with that, right, though.
So with your point,
they're not raised to be completely dependent on others.
Yeah, no, but listen,
I believe girls are being raised to be independent women and not to be raised as wives.
From a father that has a daughter, right? She's 3, granted, but I'm raising my daughter, right? Because I talked to her about certain things. I refuse to raise my daughter with a sense of total independence. I want her to understand that you are an individual person, beyond a man or a woman.
Yeah,
you're an individual person. However, you're gonna be an individual woman as long as you need to be. But I also want you to have a sense of to be able to be docile and understand, hey, if and when a man comes along in certain areas and certain aspects, I can let up. I don't have to be that aggressive in that area. However, I know how to do it, or I know how to be that or do that. But I can sit back and just chill. And if things go left or things lack, or I can also pick up hey, I got you, I got us. So I
So
want to.
that's how my generation was raised. Now these new ones
That's
is
like
all
like
about
what,
getting
42, 43?
Yeah,
What year was
yeah.
that? Was
That women
19?
the two
couldn't.
that you
They
see right
definitely
now.
couldn't work. So I get it. I understand your plight. We
Back
talking
then,
about
nobody had a job. It was just like
No,
God,
but
Earth, people.
I'm
It
just
was
saying,
just
like the ones that like the generation that is
barefoot
being
and
raised
pregnant. So I get it.
in
No,
the
but
kitchen.
but again, I
But-
wasn't when I use the analogy of jobs. I wasn't speaking in literal sense. I was just saying that I think that it's a double standard with men and women. We talked about it off the
Yeah,
air.
but if y'all,
A woman can be say you could be living in your daddy basement driving a Ford Escort. You can be going to school, no job, a full-time student, and you DoorDash for money. You getting your life together. A nigga can have that same exact.
You're a bum.
He a bum. He don't got nothing going for himself. He stay with his daddy. He
a bum.
I think it depends. It's situational, but
I
I
don't want you to be biased based off you. I want you to be unbiased.
I think your
about,
viewpoint is keep pushing towards
my sentence, and y'all will
the
hear
minority.
what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I was about to say the generations that are here now. Yes, you see the dude that they called a bum. He got a whole deal with LRG.
Oh yeah.
And they called him a bum off his outfit.
And that wasn't a bad outfit either.
But that wasn't a bad outfit back in the day. That's what we
even now, I don't think that was a bad outfit.
You know, well, I'm just saying, like that, he was dressed as how we used to dress. Like
he dressed like he just got out of jail. He went in 2004.
I see the nigga in Starbucks the other day, bro. Nigga had a pair of bows on. LRG. Nigga had a pair of bows on. I said, you just made my day on. He had a pair of bows on, nigga, with it on opening day. With the tiger, nigga was fly though. Baggy jeans, but I'm like, you just made my day.
And some Hirachis.
No, he had on Air Max. I mean, he had on Adidas. I'm like,
I said, nigga probably on some.
That nigga had the blue bows on with the brown stitches. I said, my boy,
I'd have cooked dog.
My boy was
not
parachute pants.
But yeah, no, I think it's just because I think statistically, anyways, women develop a lot faster than men. So I can understand where it says women get over or can get past a breakup. But it doesn't mean just because on the outside is looking like she's getting past it, that don't mean she's not carrying the grief with her from every single one. It's just she's learned to deal with it.
That's fair.
I can agree to that.
And now
women are more fakers, is what you're saying, right?
No.
I also so in that same vein, right? I also think that there should be I think recess is a great word. There should be a recess for reconciliation, right? Because we always talk about healing, forgiving, and reconciling, and it's like, no, I think there needs to be a recess, meaning just like a time frame and a window where you guys literally try to reconcile. Let's sit down and talk about, well, you stepped on my foot this day. Well, this is why I responded this way. Well, you did this and you thought this way. That way we can actually, because I think what ends up happening.
But that's what reconciling is.
No, not necessarily, because I think that we break up, we go be individuals, and then we come back and be like, can we reconcile and do this again? Can we forgive and make it work? It's like, no, without even acknowledging and paying homage or respect to actually, nigga, what got us to this point?
I would hope
you have to have. I would hope that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would hope you have a conversation.
How many
friends? You've been gone for 5 years.
But how many friends?
What's the body count? What's new?
How many pickles is too many pickles? How many did you have? That's the question.
Like for
we
real.
in the water already. No, I think. But yeah, like I said, I think that because how many friends have you stopped being friends with, and then over a drink and the right invite to the right neutral friend, y'all back friends again, and nobody ever y'all reconcile, but nobody ever talk about what, man.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I think that it needs to be a recess.
I think that's the very shallow way of handling things.
Yeah, speaking that's unhealthy way.
However, speaking of friendships, right? Joe Budden podcast. Oh, shit. Story goes. So Joe Budden has this thing he always say, I never smash one of my homeboys' ladies. If I know you messing with her, she off limits. So his co-host or one of the hosts on the show calls him out. Hey, that's cap. You lying?
Because you did it.
Because you did it. They get into a little heated debate. The debate was
It turned real light skin.
it turned very
fat,
extreme,
very light
dangerously
skin.
light skin.
Yeah.
Niggas was red in the face.
Flustered.
Yeah, flustered for real. That is a light skinned noun, adjective. But the nigga ended up saying, excuse me. He ends up saying, so he ends up calling him out. Joe Button, like, I never smashed her. All I did was kissed her. However,
then he turned around and also said they'll kiss and tell, but yet you kissed her and told.
Yeah, so Joe Button side of it was, if I wanted to smash her, I would have smashed her. However, my man's like, y'all are 4:00 in the morning, isolated, secluded within your car.
What else is there to do?
And you tongue kissing her.
What else is there? What are you trying to do?
Right. What was your intent after that?
Yeah. What did if she said?
Well, my thing was,
what are you saying?
To be so I don't just smash anything, but you kiss anybody.
But you
just
tongue kissed
anybody.
her at that. Yeah. To tongue kiss somebody?
Yeah.
Like you slobbing her down, but you're not gonna sleep with her. But you
that
don't
is an
know
intimate
her
kiss.
mouth
that is equivalent to taking this shit at the club.
But what got me was
see, this podcast, everything comes full circle.
It's full circle.
But what got me with Joe Budden at the same time with that, he said, your girl got smashed by everybody. So if she got smashed by everybody, why you kissing on her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boy was trying to smash.
He was trying to smash.
If he hasn't already smashed, and it just so happened that moment was only a kiss.
From the story, he said he didn't. The girl said he didn't. He was trying to. But his argument was, if I wanted to, I would have. However, I just wanted to tongue kiss you.
Let's get into the bigger scheme of things too.
But y'all adults, you wanted more than that.
That wasn't the platform to have that conversation. To me, it appeared, and I didn't watch it in totality. I watched a nice clip of it, and I'm speculating and I'm piecing stuff together based off what I've seen. Saying that for the niggas that think that I can't fight. That's all I'm saying.
I think it came out because he was caught in a lie.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
this is the second time they brought it up.
But my point is,
just got into more in depth.
But my point is everything comes full circle on this podcast, right? My point is there was no recess for them niggas to talk about that shit before, because Buddy just went like, nigga, I'm trying not to say it, nigga, but like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Like, I'm talking about you, nigga. It's like, you niggas should have been talking about that night. Y'all should have been drunk and losing y'all voice and yelling.
So that's where
you know what I'm saying?
They've talked about it before.
I was gonna say
they stated they talked about it off mic.
Yeah.
Joe Button more so brought it up again, trying to like, man, I never smashed my man's girl, and it's like, bro, you keep saying this,
but you tried already.
Hey, man, tried, and it's like, our conversation. We like, how I feel about this.
The dopest thing,
and you bringing this up again on the mic, nigga. We gonna talk about it now.
Yeah, because now you make me. Yeah, why you bringing? It up? The dopest thing I've seen on any podcast is the Mace and Cameron shit. When they do cap, them niggas actually throw hats at the nigga when they lie. They be like, cap, niggas just start throwing hats. Every podcast needs to like take on that like tactic.
Have a
like,
gimmick.
No, I mess with them niggas. Though.
Yeah, like
they podcast. Their show is pretty dope.
Yeah, I think Joe was just caught in a lie. He was just and Buddy was still still hurt about it.
I don't think he was hurt about it. I think it was just the principle of bro,
don't
stop,
say this and don't
stop,
say that.
Yeah, stop doing that.
You won't do and you
stop
do
doing
it
that.
or have done it.
I believe there's a level.
Say you don't do it no more.
Yeah, I'm holding you accountable, nigga. Stop, nigga.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
No, I respect
choose
that
your
too.
words.
Yeah. Or at least don't say it around me.
So I'll do this. I'll do this way. I like how we open up, right? Our video. It says 1 hour, 3 voices, our opinions. So we'll follow that narrative on the way out, and give 3 different words of encouragement for a person or people that's dealing with any level of grief.
Okay.
So we'll start with you.
I would say, you gotta face it head on. You have to. That's the only way to even start the healing process.
Yeah,
You have to you got to face it head on.
I agree.
yeah. I'll say this, and I always try to speak from a transparent point. Um, acknowledge the fact that grieving. That's time to eat.
I was about to say
It's time to
greedy.
eat. Acknowledge the fact that grieving consists of emotions. Emotions are consistently inconsistent or inconsistent. They fluctuate.
Yeah.
One day, nigga, you might be totally okay. And then that same day, nigga, you might be like, I am not okay. What
And
am I
it's
really?
okay to not be okay.
Yeah, and all I'm basically saying is acknowledge and respect your emotions. Grieving and healing doesn't look like a certain thing. Just go through that. Take it head on. Go through that shit and know. Nobody knows when it's gonna be over, when you're gonna be totally okay. But it's gonna get better, bro. It's gonna get better.
Okay. I agree with Shay said. The last part, I just believe that there's a limit to everything. So be careful. That's all I want to say.
No, tap into that though. What you mean exactly?
Because you said there's not there's no level or
No design look of how
there's
it
no
works.
design. And for what I heard was there's no limit to what you do to deal with your grief.
No. I was more so like the picture that you posted.
Okay.
That there's no design order of what
Okay.
Maybe I should say that way.
Well, let's take that away.
Yeah,
Then.
no design
All
order.
right.
Of what grief looks like.
Well, my
So we'll scratch that.
yeah, let's scratch that.
I think that's a great point too, though. That there is a limit to.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
Don't stay in it too
It's
long.
been 15 years.
Yeah, come on, let's go, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean. So that type of thing.
Yeah.
Not saying 15 years is the number. I'm just saying it. Is pet grief a thing?
Oh my God.
I'm joking.
You got to change his name to Mr. Insensitive.
My words of encouragement is find your safe space.
Yeah, man.
And also to the person that is the safe space, just make that person comfortable.
Yeah.
Make that person comfortable.
And I just want to add one more thing. Something that I used in my recovery process is there's going to be victory after this.
Yeah, always tell me
There
that
will
shit.
be
Always tell
glory
me that shit.
after this.
So once
We'll
you
totally end on this, though.
keep pushing.
Something I'm telling myself, I'm talking to B Mac himself, but I'm talking to you. What did you do in this situation?
That's real.
What responsibility did you hold? I'm voice 1.
And I am voice 2.
And as always, I'm voice 3.
Easy.